Alright guys, welcome to a review, and this is a beer that I have drank plenty of times. It's a beer that I am a massive fan of, and it's a beer that for some reason I haven't got round to reviewing it. I think it's because it's so widely available to me and easily accessible. It's just there, so I can pick it up for a really good price. And this is a beer that has quite a reputation. In fact, it's one of the most highly regarded beers in its style. It's renowned the world over, and I can get it in supermarkets for around 80 cents. Why am I not just like having an IV with this going straight into my veins? But yeah, the beer in question, as you can tell, is the Weltenburg Kloster Asam Bock, which is the Doppelbock, which of course is a gold winning beer. Now, this is one that is very, very popular, and it's one that, like I said, I've had plenty of times. And yeah, the oldest Abbey brewery in the world, established 1050. Absolutely crazy. I was actually at the Abbey last week and had this fresh from the source, essentially. That being said, it could have just been a chilled bottle that they put in the stein, but it just, when you're in the area, it's like that thing. Like, let's take Stella Artois for example. It's it's not that good, but if you were to have it at the brewery or in that surrounding area, mentally it tastes a lot better, and I imagine it would actually taste a lot better. But yeah, the Assam Bock clocking in, and it's always a pain in the arse to find the ABV because it's so small. Clocking in at 6.9%. In a 500ml bottle, you could get 6 packs of 330 bottles as well. But yeah, iconic looking label, and there is the equally iconic looking crown. So then, let's get this bad boy opened and see what we get. Using my Augustiner glass, so the beer is in good company. It would be cool to have a Weltenburg glass, but as if I need any more glassware. But yeah, Doppelbocks. I absolutely adore Doppelbocks. I'm just going to pour this all into the glass. But yeah, I've had this plenty of times, but I can't actually remember the last time I actually sat down and drank it. But yeah, I don't know why I put it over there, because I'm going to just pick it up again, haven't I? So we'll put it there for now. But yeah, beer in the glass then, and that is a lovely dark ruby red sort of colour with some oakish hues in there. You can see through it when you hold it up to the light, but it is quite dense in the more central part of the glass. A very handsome looking beer indeed. Beer poured with about one finger's worth of a tan brown coloured head. Nice mixture of small and big bubbles. It seems to be resting nicely, and yeah, almost has like a slight cola look to it. Textbook excuse me, textbook dark Doppelbock then, in terms of its appearance. So let's go in for a sniff. And you do get that slight sweeter muskiness. Get a little bit of a woodiness in there, maybe a slight oak character. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon, brown sugar, molasses, that sort of thing. Even has a sort of like a wet banana bread dough. Like, you get that sort of almost like Lebkuchen spice in there as well. Very dessert-like, and to complement those sort of like cakey, brown, syrupy tones, there's really nice dark fruit characters in there. You know, plums, raisins, maybe a hint of cranberry as well. And really subtly on the back end, have to excuse me, I've just got a runny nose from nowhere. There's like a very slight peated smoke character to it, but nowhere near as what you'd get from like a Schlenkerla Rauch beer. But yeah, that smells absolutely lovely. And it's 6.6% or 6.9%, did I say? Uh, that alcohol is masked really nicely. I have had Doppelbock's even a little bit lower than this, where you can smell that booziness, but the closest thing you get is maybe a slightly sweet sherry character. But it's not boozy per se. Yeah, it smells absolutely wonderful. Let's give it a taste. Prost. That's like a man's beer. It's just like big, bulky, full of character. It's got a bit of charm, a little bit seductive as well. Very robust, full bodied, higher end of medium. Has this sort of lovely, like, slight silkiness about it, but then the carbonation cuts through nicely. It's nice and prickly on the tongue as well. Lovely cakey, brown sugary sweet tones on the back end. It's really not that bitter of a beer, actually. It is like you're eating a really nicely spiced, slightly sweet cake. Lots of ginger, nutmeg. Again, those slight Lebkuchen spices, gingerbread spices. Very slight touch of vanilla, but it's almost sort of like that vanilla flavour you get from a bourbon character. And I got a very slight brandy or sherry aroma on the nose. But when you drink it, you would be forgiven at thinking it being like aged in like a slightly sweetened rum or bourbon barrel. You're not getting that like, you know, like a proper bourbon barrel where you get hits of like the whiskey, the bourbon character, but it has that like that sweetness, that residual sweetness. Get your words out, Pete. Yeah, it's so complex, so tasty, so hearty. You know, this one, I suppose, where if you've had a nice light meal and you're thinking about having a dessert, skip dessert, have this. You know, perfect replacement of food would be to have the Schlenkerla Fasten beer as your meal, and then a glass of this for your dessert. You know, the monks have got it down, seriously. It's got this like lovely sense of chewiness to it. But it's so full of character, so full of personality. It has its own little charms compared to a lot of other Doppelbocks. And it's so easy to see why this beer is as admired and revered as it is. This is just it's a phenomenal beer. And it's one of those beers, if you're living in Germany, especially in Bavaria, you've got really great access to a beer like this, world class. It's like it's pretty much a perfect Doppelbock for me. And it's beers like this that make me love German brewing traditions. You know, you can say that lagers are dull, you can have a go at the style, but when you try the variation on a style like this with a lovely Doppelbock, you know, it really makes you think. And you know what? This doesn't have to be boozy. It has so much flavour and body to it. You'd probably only want like a couple of bottles of this, and that's it. You're sorted. You respect it. You drink it. That being said, it is really easy drinking for what it is. And if you bought a little 6-pack of this in the fridge, 4 ml bottles, Yeah, there's a really big risk that that six pack is going to go pretty damn quickly. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a beautiful beer. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like one of those top five, top three, top 10 beers for me personally. And I'm so glad that I've actually got around to reviewing it for the channel, because this is one of those occasions where if you ever come across it, if you ever see it online or in a bottle shop, maybe it's 2 or 3 quid, 3 or 4 quid, something like that. Put it that money down once, pick up 2 bottles of it, because it's definitely worth it. And if you're in Germany, if you visit Germany, especially in Bavaria, there's no excuse for you not to at least buy this beer, because it's a phenomenal one. It really is. So safe to say it's a 10 out of 10 from me. It's perfect. It is actually perfect for me. It really is. So if you have tried it, as is always the case, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What's some of your favourite Doppelbocks? I really need to up my game on my Doppelbock playlist, because it is one of my all-time favourite styles. And yeah, just when you have beers like this, it's so rewarding being someone who's into beer. And the great thing about it is there's nothing in there that's going to be offensive to even the most casual of drinkers. It's so accessible, but so masterfully crafted. Really is. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Check out Weltenburg Kloster, of course, if you ever get the chance. Visit it. A beautiful place in a beautiful location near Kelheim. And you could do a boat tour from, I'm guessing, quite a few places along the Danube. Highly recommended if you're having a trip to Germany to try and make your way to Bavaria in general, especially if you're a beer lover. So yeah, check out my Doppelbock playlist down below. I think I've got quite a few Weltenburger Kloster beers reviewed, so I'll put that playlist down there. One of my all-time favourite breweries. Seriously, just every beer that I've had from them has been utterly fantastic. And yeah, look out for a beer review in the future, I should say, when I'll be pitting Asam Bock with another beast, the Celebrator from Iyengar. That's going to be an interesting video. Anyway, give me suggestions for Doppelbocks that I should check out, because I friggin' love Doppelbocks. And as always, if any of my friends or people who I follow on a regular basis have reviewed it, their reviews will be down below. And yeah, dedicating this to my good friend Paul over at PABrewNews, who, like myself, just absolutely adores traditional German beer. And this is an absolutely stellar example of that. Thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you later. Cheers.